Good morning from Los Angeles. It's Alyssa Corm and Ken Shreve here with your market update. On today's show, we're taking a look at Johnson & Johnson, Boeing, and Tilray. But first, let's take a look at the major indexes. Right now, we do have the NASDAQ up about 0.8%, so seeing a little bit of a bounce today after a very bearish session yesterday. Yeah,
I mean, the NASDAQ took out a recent low, so its rally attempt is completely dead. So we're going to look for first day of a rally attempt. You can see the NASDAQ's near its high. It's up around 1%, but you mentioned a bearish session Monday. That was not good. Damage widespread. Even the utilities took big hits. So a bear market tends to bring everything down with it. So we'll see what the close looks like today. But good start for the major averages.
Oh, that's right. It looks like we're even extending gains further, up about 1% or more across the board. But like you said, it's all about where we close. So what would you be looking at as far as, I mean, maybe a little obvious, but the best case and worst case scenarios here?
Well, we want to see the gains hold today. That would be good to get a close at least in the top half of the intraday range, if not near a high. But one day of strength is not going to put this market in a new uptrend. So again, we're just going to kind of monitor the market here, look for signs of a bottom. The big problem right now is that there are so many damaged stock charts out there right now. It's probably going to take a little while for this technical damage to repair itself. Excuse me.
That's right. And taking a look at a few individual names here, we want to touch on Johnson & Johnson. Those shares up over a little bit more than 1% today in heavy volume, saying that it has authorized a share buyback plan worth $5 billion. It also maintained its previously issued earnings and sales guidance for 2018, but Johnson & Johnson in recent sessions selling off pretty heavily. We also have the Reuters report of Johnson & Johnson knowing about asbestos in its baby powder products. Johnson & Johnson, of course, saying that to say that they had knowledge is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really bad week for the stock last week, and the selling continued on Monday. So Johnson & Johnson late Monday tried to put a tourniquet on this news by reiterating their earnings and sales guidance for this year, and like you said, announcing a $5 billion share buyback. This is a stock that recently plunged below longer-term support at the 200-day moving average. A lot of people are going to try to catch the stock on sale here, but we often say that's a pretty risky business. You really don't know where the bottom is here. Good showing so far for Johnson & Johnson, but it's kind of too early to say if the selling has completely run its course here.
That's right. Intraday trying to retake that 200-day line, hitting some resistance there. So you're right. It's too early to try to call a bottom here.
Absolutely.
All right, and taking a look at Boeing shares up about 4% in heavy volume. Boeing consolidating here, lifting its quarterly dividend some 20% to just over $2.05 a share. Also increasing its stock buyback program. And we also have Boeing announcing that it is buying the Embraer unit yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, again, just not a great looking chart here. It's been kind of finding support near the 320 level in recent weeks, but a lot of good headlines around Boeing today. So, headed into today, the yield, annualized dividend yield was about 2.1%. Now it's up to around 2.5% as a result of the dividend increase to $2.05 a share. So, another good rally. It's a top performer in the Dow today. So. Again, has it hit a bottom? Probably too early to say, but good performance so far.
That's right, and it's about 16% below potential buy point in addition to being below its moving averages, which are now crossing. Of course, we do see base breakouts when we do see the those lines crossing, but it's definitely not a good sign to see that happening.
No, it's really just there's a lot of charts that look like Boeing right now. You can see the red line, the 50-day moving average has started to slope downward. It's almost converged with the 200-day moving average. That tends to happen when a stock is down sharply in price. So just a lot of damaged charts, not only in the blue chip space, but mid caps, small caps, just kind of widespread damage in the stock market right now.
That's right, and we also want to talk about Tilray in the marijuana space, up about 9% today in heavy volume. So a nice move here today for Tilray on a supply and distribution agreement with drug maker Novartis for medical marijuana. So some nice news here today and a big move for today. But looking at the broader picture for Tilray stock, we're not seeing a base pattern being formed here.
No, I mean, this is, again, the marijuana stocks were definitely in favor for a while, but they've been under a lot of selling pressure for several months now. So even good news today, lifting shares of Tilray a little bit. Probably going to, see more news in coming weeks and months about supply distribution agreements for medical marijuana. But really the story among marijuana stocks right now is just really unclear visibility in terms of fundamentals. That's why you're seeing really sluggish price performance. People just trying to get a handle on what revenue growth is going to look like going forward, what earnings power is going to look like, and there's just still a lot of questions there. But good news for Tilray today, and it's been under a lot of selling pressure. So again, just first day of a rally here. So
that it has, and so we'll have to look to see if it can start forming a base pattern here and potentially break out. But of course, we got to see those market conditions improve first.
Yeah, and again, the marijuana stocks, there's just like, there's not really a lot of institutions nibbling at shares here. Fund sponsorship still pretty light among these marijuana stocks, but mutual fund investors a little hesitant to buy into stocks like this again when fundamentals are still cloudy.
That's right, and we have a very special announcement for you before we go. On Thursday, an exclusive YouTube live Q&A with Ken and myself is going down right after our morning show, so make sure you stay tuned after our show and head immediately over to YouTube. If you're not watching our live broadcast on YouTube already, we will be answering all of your questions about market conditions, where we could be going from here, what are some of those indicators we're looking at, and of course, analyzing some stocks to watch and what's in your watch list.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the end of the year, so we'll be talking about what good game plan for 2019, what to expect, and how to find the best stocks, so should be good.
That's right. So if you are not a YouTuber, that is fine. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for free. Basically what that just means is you'll get alerts whenever we go live or whenever we post new videos. So make sure you do that before Thursday and we'll see you there. All right, and be sure to head to investors.com throughout the session and after the close for all the latest market news and analysis. And you can also submit your questions for the Q&A ahead of time to either of our Twitter handles or at IBD Investors. We have a presence all across social media, so make sure you are following and subscribing. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.